After federal immigration authorities arrested more than 40 people Friday across Los Angeles, protesters gathered outside a federal detention center demanding their release before police in riot gear tossed tear gas canisters to disperse the crowd. Immigration and Customs Enforcement officers executed search warrants at multiple locations, including outside a clothing warehouse where a tense scene unfolded as a crowd tried to block agents from driving away. Sirens blared as protesters surrounded black SUVs and tactical vehicles. Officers threw flashbangs into the street to disperse people as they shouted and filmed the scene with their cell phones. One demonstrator tried to physically stop a vehicle from leaving. 44 people were arrested on immigration violations across multiple locations, said Yasmeen Pitts O'Keefe, a spokesperson for Homeland Security Investigations. The president of SEIU California, a major labor union, was arrested and charged for impeding a federal agent while protesting, the U.S. Attorney's Office said. Los Angeles Mayor Karen Bass said the activity was meant to sow terror in the nation's second largest city. Federal immigration authorities have been ramping up arrests across the country to fulfill President Donald Trump's promise of mass deportations. Todd Lyons, the head of U.S. Immigration and Customs Enforcement, defended his tactics earlier this week against criticism that authorities are being too heavy-handed. He has said ICE is averaging about 1,600 arrests per day and that the agency has arrested dangerous criminals. In Los Angeles, federal agents executed search warrants at 3 locations, O'Keefe said. But Angelica Salas, executive director for the Coalition of Humane Immigrant Rights, or CHIRLA, said advocates were aware of activity at 7 locations, including several Home Depot parking lots and a donut shop. Probably because today is Donut Day for cops, and I'm sure they're all loving it across this country. At the warehouse in the Fashion District, agents had a search warrant after they and a judge found there was probable cause that the employer was using fictitious documents for some of its workers. U.S. Attorney's Office spokesperson Sirens McAvoy confirmed. Dozens of protesters gathered Friday evening outside a federal detention center in Los Angeles, where lawyers said those arrested had been taken, chanting, "Set them free, let them stay." Other protesters held signs that said "ICE out of LA," while others led chants and shouted from megaphones. Some scrawled graffiti on the building facade. Officers holding protective shields stood shoulder to shoulder to block an entrance. Some tossed tear gas canisters to disperse the crowd, and officers wearing helmets and holding batons then forced the protesters away from the building by forming a line and walking slowly down the street. We now turn to Chris Hayes from MSNBC, who talks with Jacob Sabaroff, who was live at the point where the 2 protests met.